Hey kiddos, welcome back to reading. So today we're going to continue what we were doing yesterday of a little power and perspective. As you can see, I am still in the beautiful outdoor weather. As you can see, I am also wearing the same clothes I was wearing yesterday. So I'm doing this all in the same day and hopefully getting them all done while I'm in the beautiful outside weather of my backyard. So, day 2, we're still going to be thinking about power. So we started a little bit of this work yesterday when we were thinking about who has power. So the great thing about power is that it doesn't always have to be the same person who's in power, and that power can change. So we're going to be looking a little bit at that change today. So today we're going to be looking at power shifts, which is just another way of saying the change in power. So sometimes one person or a group gains power or loses power. So this is another way where power becomes complicated, where someone has more and someone has less. And then maybe in a different situation, a different person would have more and a different person would have less. So we're going to be looking at power changes in our stories, and we're going to ask why the power changed. So what caused this shift, and why is the shift in power important? So something that can cause this shift is something like money. If someone gains money, they may become more in power. Maybe it's the location. Maybe you have power at school, but at home you don't have any power. So remember, in school, I'm in charge of you guys, right? I have power over my classroom. I get to make decisions. But at home, when I'm with my parents, they get to make a lot of the decisions instead of me. So that power shifts. The power that I have at school is not the same power I have at home, and that's a change in my power. So it could be the location, it could be the people you're around, it can be, like I said, money, it can be who you become. Maybe you go to school and gain a degree, and now you have more power. So there's a lot of different reasons as to why power can change, but we're going to be looking at that today. So let's think about Tia Isa Wants a Car. So in Tia Isa Wants a Car, power shifts in a big way. So Mrs. LaForest is going to read to you the rest of Tia Isa Wants a Car. So make sure you listen to Mrs. LaForest read first. So if I were you, I would pause here. I would listen to Mrs. LaForest read, and then I would come back later. If you'd like, you can listen to the whole thing now, and then listen to Mrs. LaForest read Tia Isa Wants a Car after. But if I were you, I would pause here, listen to Mrs. LaForest, and come back later. That was my pause. So, hopefully you listened to Mrs. LaForest read Tia Isa Wants a Car on this page where it says read aloud. So while Mrs. LaForest was reading, did you notice anyone who seemed to gain power or lose power? So think about that for a second. Did you notice any change in power? Did you notice what happened? Why the power changed? So take a second and think about that. The power in Mrs. LaForest read aloud. So for me, what I seem to notice is a few different changes in power. So the car salesman and Tio Andres both seem to respect Tia Isa after she purchased the car. So the ability to purchase a car gave Tia Isa a little bit more power and a little bit more respect from the men in her lives. Tia Isa always, throughout the entire story, had the power of being determined. So power doesn't always have to be about money or ability. It can be about some internal qualities. So she always had the power of being determined, which not everyone has. So that never changed. It remained constant the whole time. And another shift in power, which I talked about in my example here, is the narrator. So in the beginning, the narrator kind of was just tagging along with her Tia Isa and just kind of going along for the ride. But when she noticed that Tia Isa didn't have enough money, she took it upon herself to go find different jobs to be able to earn some money so that she can help Tia Isa buy a car. The narrator was actually the one who got to decide and pick out the car that they bought. So the narrator started with not a lot of power at all, kind of just tagging along with Tia Isa and going along for the ride. But through her determination and her perseverance, she went out and found jobs and earned money so that she can help buy the car. So I think the narrator gained a lot of power in the story. So that's one way where I feel like the biggest power shift is the narrator. So for your own, What you're going to do is you're going to continue reading your book on Epic for about 15 to 20 minutes. Remember, you should be reading every single day. So don't just go through these and then fill out the end of the slide and be done for reading today. You should be reading this book every day for at least 15 minutes. So you're going to read your book on Epic for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then you're going to come back and answer the question of how has the power shifted in your story so far? So just like my example here, I tell you how the power shifted with the example. The power shifted with the narrator and Tia Isa wants a car. You're going to come back and tell us how the power shifted in your story so far. Maybe someone gained power, maybe someone lost power. And you're going to try to think about why that happened. So come back to your 2 guiding questions. What caused this shift? What caused this change? And why is it important? So why did the power change? And why is it important to the story that the power changed? I even gave you some sentence starters if you need them, some push your thinking phrases, so use them if you'd like. They're there to be helpful. So, good luck reading, happy reading, see you tomorrow.